Hi everyone, Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. Today I'm at Innovista Law, home of the TCPA Defense Force, and I'm talking with TCPA attorney Ernesto Mendieta. And we're talking about TCPA compliance for political candidates. A lot of our brands here at Tatango are actual brands, so they're selling or marketing a product. But what happens when it comes to political candidates that are essentially marketing themselves? So let's talk and see what needs to be required and what is different between let's say a retailer and selling something or marketing something and a political candidate that's essentially selling or marketing themselves, but a little different.
Yes. Well, the main difference, and the FCC has recognized this, is that political campaigns and political messages are informational.
Okay.
Versus the telemarketing or the solicitation aspect of any retailer. So having these messages be considered as informational, you avoid the requirement to get written prior express consent from people.
Okay.
You can get their prior consent, but you do not have to get it in writing.
So tell me, if I'm a political candidate and I get a phone number, the consumer gives me the phone number. I can't actually go out and buy phone numbers, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's one big clear thing is political candidates can't go out and just buy a phone number.
No, they should be contacting people that gave their consents to get contacted by that political campaign.
Okay, good. So if I'm a political candidate and somebody offers me 100,000 phone numbers of people that might like me as a political candidate, I can't text message those people. I shouldn't buy those phone numbers.
You shouldn't.
Okay. So if a person, let's say you, gives me your phone number because you support me as a political candidate, what disclosures do I need to make? Or can I just start text messaging you?
Yeah, let's say a perfect example is I'll go to your campaign office, I'll register myself as a volunteer in case you need someone. One of the information you ask for is my cellular phone number. I put it in. I've consented to receive text messages.
Okay, which is different from a retailer. So if I go into a retailer and I say, hey, I want to consent to receive text messages, there's a lot more disclosures and things you need to agree to technically opt in, correct?
Yes, if the following day to the day I go to the retail or the grocery store, I start receiving discounts, I would have had to consent to receive specific text messages from that store saying these promotional events.
Okay.
Unlike the political campaign that it's an informational message, I don't have to do with the telemarketing requirements. That means that I should, in writing, give consent to a specific request of contact.
So for for political candidates, it's essentially as long as the person gives you their phone number, you're okay.
Yes.
And if somebody tries to sell you phone numbers, no. Don't buy those phone numbers. Yeah. Don't text message those phone numbers.
Correct.
Even if maybe they have even kind of like a political affiliation, maybe they belong to the same party, or maybe they like the same type of things, it really has to be you giving the phone number to the person that's going to be texting you.
Yes, because that action is the one that is considered as the granting the consent to be contacted.
Okay, so I'm giving the consent to whoever I'm signing up to support or volunteering. It can't be for next year's candidate,
yes.
If I'm signing up for one candidate this year.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. And then retailers, they have to you can't just put in your phone number and click enter without saying, I want to receive text messages about marketing messages, I'm consenting to receive text messages. It's a much more specific process.
You're completely right, yes. And
okay.
How do you differentiate between these two messages? It's just one is informational, that is political campaign. You're going to be letting them know about your following in action, about your proposals, about what you're offering as a candidate, unlike the retail, that they're soliciting, they're selling, they're promoting their products and services.
One interesting thing we saw with the last election was it seems like a lot of political candidates are using text messaging to essentially promote their products. And essentially they're selling products to raise money, so t-shirts, hats, things of that nature. That seems like marketing and sales and promoting. Do those have to get strict opt-ins?
No, because as long as it's considered, and that's the purpose of informational regarding the campaign that you consented to be involved with, it will be part of the same.
So essentially, if you're a political candidate, whatever message you send them, as long as it's not a message from a different brand or something, whatever it is, that you're sending them as a political candidate, even though it is marketing, it's considered informational.
Yes.
Okay. Man, it's confusing, the TCPA, and there's so many different kind of things. What will be, I'm guessing, always consult an attorney?
Yes.
Okay.
Necessary, because you can see yourself in the situation where you actually do that. In a political campaign, you send this text informational message, including a T-shirt and a hat about your candidate. You can see a professional plaintiff saying, like, that's telemarketing. He's selling products. He's not informing people about his candidate. So you get in this area that you allow plaintiffs to fight for.
So it poses more risk, even though it's not against the TCPA.
Correct.
It just exposes you. So what can attorney, they would help you kind of figure out what the exposure would be?
Yes, the attorney is gonna tell you what the risk is, but also it's gonna mitigate it as much as possible. He's gonna say, like, avoid this specific contacts, avoid these specific numbers, and you should be fine. Because that's the purpose of considering political messages as informational and not solicitation.
Wow, interesting stuff. Again, Derek Johnson from Tatango.com here at Innovista Law, home of the TCPA Defense Force, and speaking with Ernesto Mendieta about TCPA compliance for political candidates. Thanks for watching our video today. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. If you want to see more of these types of videos, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have comments or questions, please leave a comment or question in the comment section below.